Hi, it's Neil Waterhouse. I don't think it's any secret that my favourite F word is freedom, and sometimes I need to step back and be really grateful for the day and age we're all truly blessed to live in, and the incredible technology we've all got at our fingertips today. One of my favourite things to do in life is take my time exploring aviation museums while sipping on a coffee. And the amazing thing is I'm in Texas today, 12,000 kilometres from home, and the majority of my staff are in the Philippines, 13,500 kilometres from home, or 13.5 kilometres away from here. The amazing thing is the businesses run all by themselves, no matter where you're located. It really is staggering how far we've come in such a short amount of time. Back when I was 15, almost nobody had a computer, and in 2000, almost nobody had Wi-Fi. Up to 2007, nobody had an iPhone or any other kind of smartphone. And of course, back in 2008, Steve Jobs released the first app. Now to back pockets, most people have smartphones which have computers built into them, they're more powerful than the computers in the space shuttle. From this little handheld device, you can use apps to continually check your sales live on eBay, Amazon, your website. You can also communicate with your staff using Skype, internal messaging, as well as talking to them if you ever need to. You can also log into PayPal and your bank. You can also use Google Docs to watch your staff processing orders, as well as see how many new items they've got listed each day, and this is all live. You can literally watch them all type the information in live. If you've got a warehouse, you can log into the security cameras to monitor your staff. You can also use the same app to log into video baby monitors to make sure your kids are sound asleep. And my kids insist on putting a camera in the chicken house, as they can make sure the chickens are safe and secure and the chicken door is closed, so the foxes can't get the chickens, but that's for another video. You can also monitor your overseas staff through software which automatically takes screenshots of the computers every roughly 10 minutes. I say roughly because they never know exactly when their screenshots will be taken. And this is all so you can make sure they're not they are working and they're not surfing Facebook, etc. And again, you can check those screenshots from your smartphone anywhere on the planet, as long as you've got obviously an internet connection, which of course is the majority of the planet. And if you want to add sat phones, it's almost the whole planet. You can be at home, you can be at the beach, in your favourite coffee shop, you can walk in the streets of Vienna, on a cruise ship, or like now exploring an aviation museum on the other side of the planet. I'm certainly not saying exploring aviation museums is everybody's cup of tea, as my wife and kids are continually, it's not their cup of tea, so I'm lucky that I get to take a little bit of time off from them and then grab a coffee and go exploring and spend as much time staring at an engine as I want to. But it's not everyone's cup of tea, but everybody's got their own bucket list, as well as their own definition of freedom, and only you know what your definition of freedom is. For most people, freedom is either more time, more money, or making more of an impact on the world. And normally to make more of an impact on the world, it requires time, it requires money. Now, another huge advancement, with technology is, back when I started, outsourcing staff nearly 20 years ago, the only best way to train staff back then was to jump on a plane to the Philippines and India, wherever, to train them. Today we can just use technology. It's also a fraction of the cost to outsource overseas staff these days. And for over 95% of the tasks required to run a dropship business, staff can be acquired for $1 to $2 per hour. Likewise with importing. The best way for product source it used to be to attend trade shares. You'd have to fly, up to China and wherever, to Asia, wherever, to go and do product sourcing. But with technology, not today. Traveling to the other countries, it's no longer required. In fact, all our product research these days is done in Philippines, using software. It really is staggering how far technology has come in such an incredibly short amount of time. Same with building eBay and Amazon businesses, whether they're importing or dropshipping. Back when I started, the only commercially viable strategy was to purchase inventory up front, which of course costs tens of thousands of dollars. Today with dropshipping, you can use virtual inventory, so you can build a multi-million-dollar online business without the risk and expense of purchasing inventory up front before it's sold. Anyway, that's all for this week. Please scroll down below and tell me, what's freedom for you? Until next week, listen more, sell more. This is Neil Waterhouse.